Hi, welcome back to HATV. I'm Paul Malkmus.
And I'm Ann Malkmus.
And today we're here with a special guest, Jill Melton from Palm Coast, Florida. And thank you so much for joining us, Jill.
I'm very glad to be here.
Oh, you have a wonderful testimony. We've just enjoyed chatting with you a little bit. And could you tell us a little bit about your experience with the Healthy Diet?
Well, I don't consider my story very dramatic, but this is the third time I have been trying to be on the program. And this time is a keeper. The first time I tried, a woman in my Sunday school class was shrinking in front of me, and I said, are you losing weight? And she said, yes, let me come over for lunch and I'll tell you what I'm doing. And that was when I first heard of the Hallelujah Diet. And, but it didn't last that long because I didn't have enough information, and she wasn't a health minister. And then the second time, I went to India twice to do some conferences, and you have to take malaria pills and all kinds of stuff. When I came back, I must have gotten something, and then I ate a bad, can I say lobster?
Oh,
You can say that.
you can
It was a
say
bad
lobster.
And I was really sick. And so when I started to get back on my feet, I tried again, and it wasn't a keeper. And then last year, just a year ago, this time of the year, I just felt, it was during Lent, and I really felt God was telling me that I needed to add some disciplines into my life. And so not only did I go on the eating program again, but you had started the 60-day challenge. So it gave me information that I didn't have before. It was a really good substitute from not having somebody in my house every day. And at the same time, I started an exercise program. And my kids, we have 4 kids, and they are hysterical because I don't exercise. I've been a couch potato. And I'm in the exercise room 5:30 or 6 o'clock almost 7 days a week, sometimes 6. And I don't go for hours, but I exercise every day. I lost 17 pounds. And I've been on the program, and I have never had such a greater feeling of health and energy and just overall well-being.
And so you've lost 17 pounds.
Yeah.
Any other physical improvements?
Well, over the years, the first time I was pretty sure that I had fibromyalgia, and I had some friends who had fibromyalgia. My arms hurt terribly. I was always exhausted. I was in my 50s, and I felt like I was 90.
Wow.
And I just had no energy at all. Now I'm 65, and I have so much energy, and my biggest problem in life is, should I work 35 more years or 40 more years?
What a tough decision. My goodness.
Did you say you had arthritis as well?
Well, yeah. The arthritis, I always thought, well, since my mother had arthritis, I was going to have it. And I had it in my fingers and my neck. I've seen x-rays, and my knees, and, just about every joint. And I could tell every time I ate meat for like a couple of weeks, my joints would cry. It was terrible. So I really think it's almost completely gone. The only time I feel a couple twinges in my knee, but as soon as I juice more intentionally every single day, because it's barely there. So I hardly have anything there at all.
Isn't that fascinating? She's
Yeah.
65, and her arthritis went the other direction. That's awesome.
Do you know I gained a half an inch?
Height?
I had a bone density test, and they said that I was whatever that word is.
Osteopenia?
Yeah, and since I've been on the program, I went to the doctor, and he measured me, and he said I was 5'4". And I said, no, I've been 5'3". Maybe you didn't. Let's do it again. We measured several times, and I've gained a half an inch.
Well done.
I mean, that's
That's
weird.
amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, and I used to have fibrocystic breasts. And although there's no cancer in our family, when the doctor says you have fibrocystic breasts, you pay attention. And dairy, as soon as I cut out the dairy, my breasts were completely normal. And the doctor said, what's that about? And I had one other thing, migraine headaches. I don't know if did you ever have migraine headaches?
I had a few, but not very many.
They're completely debilitating. If I was working, I had a mat under my desk, and I would have to go lay on the floor and fall asleep. That would be otherwise I would barely make it home.
I understand.
And I have never had a migraine headache since I've been on the program.
My
How long
goodness.
did you have migraines before making the change?
My whole life.
Really?
Yeah.
And did it happen immediately after changing the diet, or?
Well, it was sort of at the same time that I also accepted the Lord. So I can't tell you exactly, but the Hallelujah diet, I have no headaches. And I think dairy is one of the key offenders there too, at least in me. And no colds.
Yeah, it's amazing after we change our lifestyle how healthy we are. And the traditional colds and the flus that everybody gets, we just don't get them.
Well, I was raised to believe that all those things, those sicknesses were normal.
Yes.
And when you're not sick, you know, my colleagues at work, I have so much more energy than most of the people that I work with who are so much younger.
And you're 65.
Well, you
Wow.
know, in the last, I wanted to tell you this because in the last year, almost every day somebody asks me, "What are you doing, Jill?" And so I'm kind of wondering what that's about. And I'm just, you know, I love learning all this information and keep learning because I guess, you know, it's a bottomless pit how much we have to learn. Doctors don't know about nutrition and
If you had
disease.
one thing to share with our audience, who's somebody who's thinking about becoming, you know, changing their lifestyle, what would you say to them?
I was thinking about this. You know, I would say, don't worry about your lifetime. Just worry about changing what you eat one meal at a time, one bite at a time, and one sip of juice at a time.
That's excellent advice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because people just can't handle a large change, but they can handle a small step.
Yeah. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming for everybody.
And if we just take it that one step at a time,
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's excellent advice.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing. And we really appreciate it, and we know that our audience will too. Yes.
And we want to thank you for taking the time to spend with us here at HATV. And until next time, this is AM and PM.